Right, week 18, Jaguars versus Titans. Jacksonville is favored by 5. Jacksonville should win this game. I think it's really going to come down to whether or not Trevor Lawrence plays and whether or not Will Levis plays. Uh, if we're talking two second string quarterbacks, or in the case of the Titans, what's that, the third, fourth? I don't know. Um, but Will Levis, I think has been, he was their top draft pick last year, and so they really want to see how well he can play. Both are listed as questionable. So that is going to make a big difference on this. At this point in time, I don't really know who's going to play. So with that, I'm actually going to go with Tennessee. Uh, and we'll kind of talk to this. So the model outright says Jacksonville should win. And uh, if Trevor Lawrence plays, then they should win. The 5, they have not been looking all that great in some of their recent games, I would say. Uh, uh, and again, they've played some tough opponents, but not so much for that. I think that explains all their poor play. So uh, again, just assuming that everyone were to play, to see a 21 or 22-17 type of a victory sounds about right. And then likewise, when I come over here to the Bayesian adjustment, it says, yeah, it should still be a close game. Uh, so with that 5 points, again, not knowing who's going to be playing, I'm willing to not. I know Jacksonville needs to win this to make the playoffs. There's nothing better for a team like Tennessee to come out and spoil it for your uh, division, or your for someone in your own division like that. So, and then not to mention, I think there's a lot of players on Tennessee who are playing for contracts. I mean, if Will Levis plays, he's got something to prove. There's other players on that team as well. It's either for this contract or they're hoping to look good for a contract next year. Don't ever underestimate those desires to say, "Hey, I want to look good in my last 1 or 2 games to make a push in the offseason to go sign either with this team or go elsewhere." So when we come over here to the performance charts, so um, Jacksonville, again, the real Trevor Lawrence, if he shows up, they should be pretty good. I think he's been playing really good all year. When I do come over here and I look at the Tennessee passing, I personally think that has to be somewhat due to the uh, some of the garbage yards that they've been able to get. But I'd say that the rushing game, you see some of those higher numbers there, is legit. When we come over here to the right, Tennessee, they've been unable to really protect their quarterback. But Jacksonville as well, they're giving up way more sacks than I would expect uh, for that. And then, and I would also point out that from an explosive perspective, Jacksonville, they definitely look strong. They do. But the Tennessee running game. That's really what's going to boil down to. They've been looking pretty good about that, and you can see that there is a distinct advantage over here in the running game as well. So when coming down here, this is actuals. So this is 0.4 points against. So Jacksonville over here. The big thing that I see with this is that those box plots is, wow, just a lot of variation. So the red line there is a league average. So you just see a lot of movement across all the different games. Meanwhile, when I come over here to Tennessee, um, they definitely have just a consistently average defense. Um, that's probably because their offense leaves them out on the field for way too long. But again, they're giving up the league average in points, and you got to kind of respect the fact that you've got that tight spread, is as opposed to just a lot of variation over here. And then likewise, their offense has been underwhelming for sure. So the league average 22 points. They're putting up, can't see that red on red, but they're putting up an average of 17 points. You're not going to do very well with that. But that notwithstanding, if you have a strong defense and you have an uh, inconsistent team over here with Jacksonville, I think anyone who watched them would say, yeah, they can look really good and they can follow up and just stink. So a lot of it comes down to who are the quarterbacks. If you have both of those quarterbacks going up, I would tend to think more Trevor Lawrence. But again, a lot of that ups and down, he's been part of that as well. So, and if it's their anyone other than those two, well, then it's probably going to be a low scoring game overall, in which case that 5 point spread looks really uh, uh, difficult. So anyhow, Enjoy. If you got any questions or comments, drop me a note. If you like what you listen to, click like and subscribe. Thank you.